Good evening, everybody. I thought I'd do something a little different here today. I just pretty much finished up a full pasture train, and I'm going to do a run by here, and I'm going to describe each car as we look at it and what I did to it. Some of them are stock, some of them I painted and decaled and kit bashed and all that stuff. So, what this train is, this is approximately 1948, the Rock Island and Southern Pacific Golden State train, which ran from Chicago to Los Angeles. Rock Island handled the train from Chicago down to New Mexico, and then Southern Pacific took it over. The name is escaping me right now, the name of the town where they interchanged, but the Southern Pacific took it over in New Mexico and ran it from there to Los Angeles. So, we're going to look at each car and I'll give you a little rundown on what the train is. So, here we go. So, it's going to come right in front of you here. First thing we see is the power. So, this is the Chicago to New Mexico section. So, I have Rock Island power. So, locomotive here is this is a lifelike shell mounted on a Kato mechanism. It's an ABB set of E7s. I swapped out the mechanism for the better running Kato and detailed the locomotive a little bit. Some of the steps I replaced. I replaced the horns, put windshield wipers on it. So some people have been asking me how I mount these shells on the Kato mechanisms. Well, that's one of the brand new Kato, well, not brand new now, but it's a Kato E8/E9 mechanism for the city of Los Angeles, with a Digitrax DCC chip installed. So it's got the wrong fuel tank on it for an E7, but that's okay. So in order to get it to mount right, I took the lifelike shell. All I did was file down the little nubbins in there. You can see it next to the side windows. I filed those down on both the front and the back end. And it sits right on there. Now, it's not attached. It just sits on there. But unless you're messing around with it, it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm happy with that. I do that to a lot of I love Lifelike's paint jobs. They did an excellent job on these back in the day. Their mechanisms are just not up to snuff, and especially the biggest problem is they don't have low profile flanges. So I'm running Atlas Code 55 track, and the Lifelike old generation of E units don't like that. So the Kato mechanisms work a whole lot better. So, and I do have the only thing I did special to the decoder in this thing is I make it so at function 4 I can dim or brighten the headlight. That's it. So that's my A unit. We're going to roll past here. The B units have the same mechanicals on the inside. So we're going to straighten this out here so we get a good side shot of all these cars coming by. So our first car in the consist is a Rock Island mail baggage car. This is number 803. It was at this time, it was one of the only cars in the consist that was silver painted and not the more attractive red and silver. So this is a stock car. I just got it recently from Lowell Smith's Signature Series. It's a Railsmith car. It's really, really close to the prototype car for this train. The only thing, it's missing one window and it should have skirting on the center section. But other than that, it's pretty darn close, so we're going to use it. So, so that one just came in the mail, so awesome. Next car, this is an old Atlas Riverosi car. It's a Rock Island prototype. It's the baggage dormitory car. I put the wrong number on it, but other than that, it's pretty darn close to prototypical. I have Microtrains trucks on it, and I body mounted 1015 Microtrains couplers. The paint, all the paint on my painted cars are Model Flex Southern Pacific Scarlet is the red, And then the silver is rattle can. It's Krylon dull aluminum. It's the paint I've found that closest matches stainless steel. Um, at least for my purposes, I think it matches pretty darn good. So the decals are by K4 Decals. They do great product. I highly recommend them if they produce something that you can use. So yeah, that's that car. I did take a silver Sharpie and I highlighted the grab irons. I left the factory molded grab irons on this car. So that's the baggage dorm. Next car is the first of 3 coaches. This is a new Railsmith release, one of his newer cars. Let's see. It's a leg rest chair car. Southern Pacific call them. This is a Southern Pacific car, Golden Ore. Right out of the box. This car is also right out of the box, another Railsmith car. This is a leg rest chair car, Golden Sand. The only thing I did was put a drop of oil in the journal boxes, and they just run a little bit better. And that's all I did to that one. This is the first car that I've built for the train that you've seen. This is a 32-seat coffee shop / 16-seat lounge. Golden Bowl is the name on it. This is a Rock Island car. It's a Union Station Products styrene sides on an American Limited core kit. It has American Limited trucks with Kato wheel sets in it. I body mounted Microtrains 1015 couplers again. Paint's the same as the last car that I showed you, and the decals are again by K4. This is a prototype car. We have one more coach in the train. This train is as it would have left Chicago, so it's got the full complement of coaches and sleepers. Along the route, it would drop coaches and sleepers at various destinations, but this is right out of Chicago, so it's the full train. This is another Atlas Riverosi car, Rock Island prototype. I decaled this one. It's hard to see. I decaled this one Golden Symbol. So again, all the stuff is the same. This one again has Microtrains trucks on it. Most of the sleepers in the train right now are Centralia Car Shop / Intermountain cars. This is the first of them. These are straight out of the box. The only thing I did, I lowered the car and I body mounted the couplers. So if you notice, it sits lower than a stock Intermountain car, and it really matches the roof profile and the stripe profile of the other cars that I've done, and it just looks better when it's sitting lower. So tracks well, so there's no problem with it. This is a 664 sleeper Golden Banner. The next car is another 664 sleeper. They ran 2 of these on the train. This is Golden Plaza. Both of these are Rock Island owned. If you don't know, this train was a combination of Southern Pacific and Rock Island and combination of equipment, so you'll see both in the train. Next car is another food service car. This is the full diner. This is a 36-seat diner, Golden Repast. This is a Rock Island prototype. Again, this is a Union Station Products styrene sides with styrene corrugations on an American Limited core kit with American Limited trucks and Kato wheels, Microtrains body mounted couplers, same paint as before. This one has gold medal models, grab irons on it also. That was a fun deal to work around those corrugations. So the next car, you'll notice it's a smooth side car. Usually a lot of the Southern Pacific cars were smooth sides, and a lot of the Rock Islands were corrugated. So not a steadfast rule, but that seems to be the way they worked mostly in the train. This is a club lounge called Golden Outlook. This is a Southern Pacific car. This is another Union Station Products, styrene sides, all the American Limited stuff on it. Now, with the tail car that I'm running on this train, this car probably shouldn't be in the consist. I'll get to that when I get to the tail car, but it's a club lounge, and I have it, and I wanted to use it, and I have the other tail car on an order from Lowell Smith, so when that gets here, then I can run this car on the train. But I'm going to use modeler's license and run it anyways for right now, because it looks good, and it adds some variety. The next car, this is a 12 double bedroom sleeper, Southern Pacific owned. This is Golden Poppy. This is a Kato car from the 20th Century Limited set. They're running a sale on the Kato website right now. You can pick these up for pretty cheap. And all I did was strip it and then paint and decal it. And it's got the full interior and everything and the underbody details. It turned out really, really nice. So that's the most expensive accommodations on the trains were those double bedrooms. Next car, we got some more sleepers here from Intermountain. This one, however, this time it's a 442 sleeper, Golden Fleece. Intermountain car, again, lowered body-mounted couplers. And they ran 2 of these. Here's another 442 sleeper, Golden Crest. Nope, sorry, wrong name. Golden Hour. Again, another Intermountain car. I got ahead on my little script here. This sleeper is a Railsmith undecorated car that I painted and lettered. This one is a 10-6 sleeper, Golden Crest. Southern Pacific owned. The 2 442 sleepers were Rock Island owned. And then the final car in the train is a 2-1 Boat Tail Observation. This is an old Atlas Riverosi car again. Rock Island prototype, and this car was on the train. Now, with this tail car, there is a bar lounge section in this car. So again, with this tail car, we usually wouldn't run that club lounge behind the diner. There was 5 or 6 different train sets that we're running. One of them, if the train set had the Southern Pacific 10-6 blunt end sleeper on the rear, they would run that club lounge behind the diner. If this car was in the train, they wouldn't run that club lounge. So anyways, that's the tail car. Microtrains trucks again. I did add a jewel in the rear marker light, and there is a drum head on the back end that's not lit, but at least it says Golden State. So that's the train. I figured I'm shooting this on one of my modules, and I think what we'll do next is I'll just do some run-bys of it on this nice scenic module, so give you guys an idea what it looks like when it's in motion. I'll be right back with you.